Hi everyone, my name is Carey and I'm here today to share with y'all my January 2019 favorites. I think I like these videos probably the best of all my YouTube watching videos. I just love to watch what people pick as their favorites. And then I think my second favorite videos to watch are empties because I like to see what people are really currently enjoying, and then I like to see what people are actually enjoying so much that they actually finish the products. So I'm going to make a concerted effort to try to film maybe an empties video every month and a favorites video every month. That way, I can at the end of the year maybe come back and revisit. And for example, I can tell you all out of the products that I mentioned in my makeup, the makeup products that I mentioned in my favorites, which ones actually make the cut as my yearly favorites. And so let's go ahead and get started. And what I want to do is this time around, I'm going to start with my makeup. So the first thing I'll share with y'all is my Depotted Viseart palette. I took some of my smaller Viseart palettes, like right here I have the neutral mattes, and I have which one is this one? The Absinthe, and this one was the Ablaze palette. And I took them out of the original container. So this is the original Viseart palette for the neutral mattes, and this one is the original Theory palette for the Ablaze, that meaning the face palette that has the cheek and blush. And so I took them out of here. So then I depotted the shadows from those original palettes and I put them into this palette right here. And I got this plastic palette from Coastal Scents, and it's a magnetic palette. And I know that it's probably not the best quality, but to me what I enjoyed the most is that I can see what's inside. I don't need a mirror. I have a mirror that I use, and so that's not something that's a priority to me. What was a priority was that I could see that, oh yes, this is my Viseart shadow palette. These are now housed on top of my vanity, and I can see exactly which palette I want, and I can just kind of pick that one up. I'm wearing that right now. At this moment, I'm currently wearing some of the shadows and actually the face palette from this Viseart palette, and I find myself going over and over back to it because I can now jump from different things. For example, today I'm wearing, I think, three of the shadows, the three matte shadows from the Amethyst palette, and then I went in with the pink one up here, the peachy pink one, the top one from the Siren palette, and I also used from the Neutral Mattes palettes this one right here on the bottom. And so it's just so easy to kind of jump back and forth from each of the different palettes and just really get some good use out of it. As well as I used all three of these. These two right here, this one's Mary Luminizer, and I think this one was Desert Beach or something like that. It's one of the balm blushes that I got a sample from a long time ago in an Ipsy bag, and so I kind of depotted them because it fit perfectly in the little space that I had left over. Love this, love. I can't even tell you how much I love this. Thank you, a beauty guru made me buy it, and Abby's 66. I keep saying your names because you guys really transform the way I'm using eyeshadows. These are getting used. And to go along with my Viseart palette, I needed to, and I have to talk about this brush, and it's a Wayne Goss 16. Now, I didn't go out and buy this brush. It came in a lucky bag from Beautylish, not this year, not in December 2018. I got it December 2017, and it's the number 16, and it's their larger blender brush. And guys, the Viseart shadows with this brush, it's like a match made in heaven. I do have to say that his brushes, and I believe that these are white goat hair, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to buy the brushes, but now that I've tried this brush, I have to say that it really is by far superior to most of the other brushes I have in my collection. Can I achieve almost the same look or the same look with my Luxie brushes that I got from BoxyCharm? Yes. Do I still love them? Yes. Do I use them along with this one? Every day I use this one and I use those. That being said, there's something special to this brush. Also, for talking makeup, I wanted to talk to you guys, and it's kind of dirty, about my Wet n Wild Pout and Tease, and this one's in the color Tease. And I'll go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a swatch. It's also what I'm wearing on my lips right now, so I'll go ahead and reapply it. And there's the swatch. As you guys can tell, it's really a very sheer, soft, pinky balmy lipstick, and it's almost like a gel. It's called a gel lip balm, and so you can really tell the gel consistency of it. And the reason I chose this as one of my favorites this month is that this happens to be the lipstick that lives in my purse, and it happens to be the one that I will always reapply when I'm out and about. And so I find that when I'm out and about and I've applied a liquid lip and my lip is starting to get a little dry, because like I've told you guys, I have very severe dry lips, this just kind of gives enough moisture and it helps that lipstick look good. If I've worn just a regular bullet lipstick and my lips are feeling dry or they're getting kind of worn, I just apply this over it and it just looks so pretty. I can apply it over a brown and it'll just get a beautiful rosiness to it. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful lip balm, and I think it's like $1.97. So we're gonna go from Busy Art Shadows, which are some of the, you know, very pricey eyeshadows, and then I'm gonna tell you guys that this lip balm that's like $2 is just that good. I love it. I use it all the time. So the next thing I'm gonna talk to you guys are my favorite nail polishes. And so if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I post nail of the day pictures, I don't know, about twice a week, and that I just love a good combo. I'm not really good at nail art, but I can put together colors, and these two are so good together. And I'll be sure to insert a picture up above so you can see it. And so this is KO Polish in Sophie, and it's actually the only polish I picked up from the Winter Rain collection. It was just the only one that caught my eye at the time, and I'm on a beauty budget, so this time around I didn't want to buy anymore. I've got enough polishes. It's like a blue, it's got a bit of a blue, a little bit of gray, but it's mostly a white. And so, you know, if you ask me, on the nail it appears as a very light gray, very light gray, almost white gray with a touch of a light blue in it. It's so pretty. And it's one of those polishes that you can wear with almost anything. It's actually almost the color of my sweater. If you guys, you know, if you're looking at my sweater, it just really is. It's just that kind of gray-y blue. Oh, I love it. And so then I topped it with Zoya's Leia, with a bit of a shimmery polish with opalescent, you know, kind of a shift to it. And like this one will have, let me see if it'll pick up. See it? There's a shimmer shift to it. And on your nails, it's just, oh, it's so pretty. And when you put these two together on the nail, so I put 2 coats of KL and 1 coat of Zoya's Leia, it was the most ethereal looking nail polish. I mean, I swear, it looked like elfin nails. I just loved it so very much. It was, to me, the epitome of what a winter manicure is like. This last month in my Instagram, I was calling it the winter nail event, because I kept coming up with different winter combos that I was just loving so very much. And this was probably my absolute favorite of the month. So moving right along, I'm going to go into something more of a lifestyle thing, something that just is just absolutely awesomeness. I went to Target the other day and I picked up this thing. Guys, I'd never seen anything like it. It's an electrical, let me turn it around so you guys can see it in English. It's an electric espresso maker. Now, I've always had an espresso maker at my house because, yeah, but first, coffee. Can we agree on that? I mean, don't talk to me without my coffee. So, anyways, my espresso maker broke. I think it must have been sometime last April, but I was out of commission for quite a bit last year, and I just wasn't able to get out and about. And I happened to go into Target. I had to pick up some medicine, and I was walking by a shelf, and this gorgeous thing was on it. It was on clearance. It was $21.01. Originally it was $21.99. It's by Imusa, and it is like your typical espresso, stovetop espresso maker, but this is electrical, and you push this little button right there and it just makes the most wonderful coffee, and I love it. It's so nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in frame so you guys can see it. I highly recommend it. We've been using the moving right along. I wanted to share with you guys some of the clothing favorites that I had this month. Now, I don't buy clothes every month, but this month, actually it was towards the end of December, Forever 21 did a huge sale on sweaters. But I needed to get some sweaters because I was cold. It's been a little bit cold down here in Florida, and I'm not used to it. So anyways, I went ahead and picked up some sweaters, and let me go ahead and show you kind of like what it's like. It's a bit short. I'm wearing leggings right now, so disregard, but it's a bit square of a sweater. Oh, it's so comfortable. I just love it. It's so good. and I'm really, really happy I ended up picking them up at 4 of 21. Also, in my fashion favorites this month, I had to include my purse. I found this at Plato's Closet. In Plato's Closet, I don't know if you guys have it where you live. It's actually a consignment store where you take your stuff in and they pay you cash for it. And so anyways, I went in, and after you buy a certain amount of clothes, it used to be the rewards program that you would get 20% off. And I used my 20% coupon to buy this bag. It's a Coach bag, and it is so wonderful. It came with the snowflake Coach snowflake keychain here as a decoration, so that's why I'm calling it my winter bag. And it's like a shimmery glue. It doesn't have glitter, but it's shimmer, navy blue, metallic, but it's leather. Or at least it's, you know, vegan leather. And anyways, it's just gorgeous. I love the size. It's not too big. It's not too small. It has the crossbody strap, and I love that. And it, you know, for winter, for my winter wear, it matches almost everything. And so for now, I'm using it with the snowflake because it's cold outside. But I think later on, I'll take off the snowflake and just use it, you know, on its own because it won't be so cold. But I really do like my nice winter Coach bag. And I think what I was trying to tell y'all is I got it at Plato's Closet, and it was new with tags, and I paid $40 for it, or $42 for it. So y'all, you need to visit Plato's if you have one near you. The next product I want to talk about is my CeraVe moisturizing cream. And guys, this is good. This is so good. I used it on my face as my last step. It's the last thing I put on my face at night before I go to bed. It's also what I use when my skin becomes very dry on my legs and my arms, and they are just itching me like crazy. This is the best thing, honestly. It's a very thick lotion. You guys can see it. I mean, I would even dare to go like that. It just ain't going anywhere. It's just really, really thick. And it's very, very thick. You go in, it's almost a body butter, but not quite. It's a little bit more creamy than a body butter. And you just rub it in, and it just moisturizes everything so beautifully. It's just, it has no scent. And so to me, that is, you know, I just don't really care for a lot of fragrance in my skin products. It's not that expensive, and you can get it at the drugstore. So then I want to move into what my favorite candle has been in the month of January, and it was the candle Leaves. The notes on Leaves is crisp red apple, golden nectar, and warm clove spice. So I burnt this candle from around Christmas to about maybe like the middle of January, and then it burned out. And of all the candles I burnt last month, this was probably the standout candle. And when I say not just last month, this has been a standout candle for me for years. It's probably one of my favorite candles from Bath & Body Works. Next, I want to talk to you guys about my favorite television show, or whatever I'm watching on TV, put it that way. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's also part of PBS Masterpiece Theater, and it's The Durrells in Corfu. And it's a show about this quirky little family. They're a British family in post, I think, World War II. Is it World War II or World War I? I think it's World War II. But in either case, she becomes a widow. The mother becomes a widow, and she has 4 children. And things were just going from bad to worse in England. And so she decided to just up and move her family to Corfu, Greece. And it's all their adventures and all the different ways of life, from a British family lifestyle, you know, to the traditional British family, to this free family in Corfu. And I loved it. It's so light, and it's just an easy show to watch. It never left me stressed out. It actually left me giggling and thinking about, I want to move to Corfu. And as a matter of fact, it's a bit of a joke within my friends that, you know, now whenever something's going bad, I'm like, yeah, I'm moving to Corfu. So I don't know if you have the same taste as me, but this is just a light, wholesome kind of family show. So next, I want to talk to you guys about my favorite books, the books that I read in January. Now, I don't want to talk about all the books that I read in January. I think there were like 8, but the truth is that there were only 2 that were standouts, but there's one that I'm going to call my favorite book in January, and it was Circe by Madeline Miller, and it's about the goddess Circe. And it just, you know, it was so good. It talks about her being cast out into her own little island, and then all the people that she comes into contact within that island, and the skills that she develops while she's on that island. While she's on the island, she meets Daedalus, she meets Odysseus, she also has different contacts with different other gods like Hermes. If you love Greek mythology, which I have always loved Greek mythology, I think that you would really enjoy Circe by Madeline Miller. It kept me entertained. I did not go away from it feeling at all stressed out, but it did make me want to finish it. You know, I was like, what's gonna happen next? And so after I read Circe, I couldn't get enough of Greek mythology last month. So I ended up picking up the Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller as well, and it's the story of Achilles, and it's the whole battle of Troy. It was so well written. Now, there were subject matters in that book that maybe are a little bit more adult than, let's say, in Circe. So if it's a young kid that's reading the book, I'm not sure if I would recommend it. But I just thought it was so well written, and I really enjoyed it. Not as much as I enjoyed Circe. I would have to absolutely say my favorite book in January was Circe. But because I wanted more and more Greek mythology, I ended up picking up that one, and it was really worth my read. After that, I on Roku, I have the Roku streaming stick, and on the Roku channel, they actually had the Odyssey, the miniseries that they made. I think it was in the 90s, if not in the early 2000s. And so then I watched it, and it was, you know, the Odyssey. And so we're talking about Odysseus and Penelope and all the gods, and, you know, oh, it was so good. Circe was in that one too, and so was Callisto. And so it was just a really entertaining part of my month of January. So I don't know, if you're interested in Greek mythology, all three of those were so good, but the only one I'm supposed to be talking about right now would be Circe. Going back to some household things, I want to talk about this. I told you guys, it's been a little cold here in Florida. Now, y'all don't laugh, because I realize that some of you guys are having negative 34 degree as I'm filming this, and y'all, that's cold. That's like real cold. I don't know that kind of cold. I ain't never been anywhere that cold. For me, cold is anything below 40. So just realize that. Now, that being said, y'all need to understand that in Florida, the houses aren't built with the kind of heat that you guys have up north. And so even my brother, he lives in Buffalo. When he comes down here and we're having a cold spell, he's like, this heater is nothing. This is no bueno. And so our cold can be quite damp and humid, and so you just feel it to your bones. That being said, it's not negative 34, so I'm not acting like it's negative 34, but I don't know why I went down that rabbit hole. I just want to share with y'all my favorite throw. It's this kind of like blanket, but it's not very wide. I'll open it up like this. It's about, I don't know, what is that, less than 2 feet, or about 2 feet wide. And I picked it up at Ross, again, not this year, not in 2018, or not last year, in 2018. I picked it up in 2017. It's got this beautiful like knitting pattern right down the middle, and that's the reason I picked it up. It's this pattern right here. I thought it was so pretty, and I've had it and I've used it as a blanket, but I kept telling everyone, because I've had people say, where'd you get that? That is so nice. And I'd be like, oh, I got it at Ross, and I paid $10, and I was like all excited, right? Guys, this thing, I didn't realize it's by Barefoot Dreams. And so I thought I'd heard that brand before, and I looked it up, and y'all, it's the Barefoot Dreams Cozy Chic collection, and it's more of a shawl, but this thing is like $110. Now, this is an older version of the one that's $110 right now at Nordstrom, but still, y'all, I got it for $10 at Ross, and I love the crap out of that. I also wanted to add into this small video my favorite product from a subscription box. Now, right now at this moment, the only subscription box I'm getting again would be BoxyCharm. I only want to have one subscription box. I have enough makeup products that I just don't really need any more than one. As I'm talking to y'all with my hands, I know it can be quite distracting. I'm Spanish, y'all. Y'all need to forgive. But anyways, my favorite product from my BoxyCharm box this month is this from Tarte. It's the Rainforest of the Sea Volume 3. Now, I have the Volume 2. It came in a previous BoxyCharm, and that one I liked, but I don't like it as much. I always hear people talk about how these palettes are just not good, and that the pigmentation and the payoff is not that great. So those are some swatches of the shadows on my finger. I'm so happy that I ended up getting this in my BoxyCharm box. I've worn this in conjunction with my Viseart palette a few times this month. I find these shadows are so easy to use. I think my favorite way has been to wear it with my Tarte palette, which to me is like one of my favorite winter palettes of all time. It's just those, you know, perfect kind of winter tones. It's cool. I think it's cool tone mattes. And so this gives me the shimmer that I like on my lid. And so right now, I'm wearing the Viseart palette, and I'm also wearing this eyeshadow right here, kind of in the middle of my eye, right on this area. But I really have to say, from my subscription box, this was my favorite product last month, and I'm really happy that I got it. And it actually made me kind of really happy that I went back to BoxyCharm. This particular thing I'm going to talk to you guys is about a product that surprised me last month, and this is a surprising product for me. This is my BB cream from Garnier. Now, this was my daughter's, and I bought it for her about a year and a half ago, and somehow or another it got cast out. She says that it breaks her out, and so I was like, I'll go ahead and use it, Rebecca, not a problem. When I'm really surprised about this, I really like it. So it's got a bit of a peachy tone to it, right? And so I'm a little bit more of a neutral tone than that is. And so what I do is I add my L'Oreal Lumi, the neutral 1 and 2 is what it's called, and I'll add a pump of that with a pump of this, and that's the foundation I've been wearing all month, and I'm enjoying it. I'm kind of happy because I'm killing two birds with one stone. I'll be using up my Lumiere Lumi, and I'll be using up this Garnier BB cream, which I think is a product that kind of disappointed me. So we have surprise product, which would be the Garnier BB cream, and a product that disappointed me were these Essence Metal Shock Shadows. And so here's a swatch of Second to Mars right there, and on my hand it really looks pretty, right? Because it's peachy and it's got some glitters in it, and actually it probably looks a little bit like what I have in the inner corner of my eye. But guys, to get this on my lid, I don't know about other lids. I have crepey eyelids because I am 49. I'll be 50 in August. It moves. It takes whatever you've got down on your eye, and when you try to lay it with this little wand that it brings with it, the little doe foot wand, and you lay it down, and then you try to go in with your finger, or even with the same wand, or even with a brush, it shifts your eyeshadow underneath, and then it becomes patchy, and I can't stand that. So I find them really hard to work with. The other one I only have two, and I'm kind of happy I only picked up two. The second one I have is Stars and Stories. This one is more of a pink, and it's got silver glitters in it. That's it swatched on my hand. I'll try to move so you guys can see. But see, inside of that, I don't know if you guys will be able to tell on camera, that on this one, there's like a silver glitter to it. You know, in nail polish, when we talk about a glitter polish being base heavy, it's that it's got way too much of the clear polish in it. Well, if I were to compare this to that kind of language, I would say that this base color is not strong enough, and so you don't get enough of the base color. You get more of just the glitter, and if that's what you're looking for, that's fine. God, the fallout with them, it was terrible. And so in my opinion, if I humbly got an opinion here, if you are looking for a product like this and you want to stick with drugstore, I would say Glitter Goals by NYX is so much better, and I'll give you guys a swatch of that one. Here is a swatch, the one on this corner right here. That's the one by Glitter Goals, and this one's in Pinup Polish. Pinup Polish? This one is in Polish to Pinup by NYX Glitter Goals. And I'm not sure if you can tell just how much the base on this one actually comes through, and so it helps the glitter kind of almost be more shimmery on your eye. And I hope that I'm getting my point across. That being said, I really do think that Stila really did do a good job with these two, and I think these swatches will tell you the whole story. You'll see why I think that this is just so superior. When you put them side by side, so that's the Glimmer and Glow right there in Kitten, you can see that the base of the Stila one right there is just ever so much denser than the base inside of the Essence. In the Essence, you're really only seeing a little bit of the base and quite a bit of glitter. In this peach one, it's got more of a base, but it moves your shadow around so very much. It's just, I mean, it's just a pain in the butt to work with. And then the next one is my next favorite, which, you know, I can't say anything bad about it because I think they are so good. In general, guys, is that not just the most beautiful thing ever? the shift on my hand right now. Yeah, I know. I could sit here and just stare at it all day. But anyways, I don't want to do that because that's it, guys. That's the end of my video today. I have shared with you guys my favorite things in the month of January. I know there are quite a few, but I wanted to touch on a little bit of everything. That way, at the end of the year, we can come back and take a look and see what it was that actually raised to the cream of the crop. So you guys, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to come and hang out with me. I hope you guys had a really good January and that continues right on into February. Guys, please take care of yourselves. Stay warm because it's just really cold out there. And y'all be blessed. Bye.